Hello, all. We are back with some Fallout 4. We're going to be checking out some more Red Rocket themed mods today. And the first one up is the Red Rocket Hideout, which is actually a player home, and it is located at the Red Rocket truck stop next to Sanctuary. However, it has its own separate cell, so there is going to be a door placed nearby, and you will use that to enter this place. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get to it, and we're just going to take a tour around this place. But before we do so, we need to look at the requirements, and it says that you need automatron, basically like all the freaking DLC. So I don't know what's going on with that. Probably like the decorations and the functions that's going on in there. But we are going to download this, and I will see you guys in the game. All right, so here we are in game. We are approaching the Red Rocket, and what you want to do is you want to run around this backside, and there should be a floor container here. It's in these bushes, so it's kind of hidden. It's actually, you know what? I actually like that it's in these bushes because it's like it's less likely to conflict with anything else, since nobody else would dare put their door or anything else like that in the bushes. Alright, so anyway, let's go inside. So, here we are. We have a pet cat. And here's some static items right here. Oh wait, no, they're not static. They're actually purified water, and they're stacked in there. Okay, I would just rather not take them because there's no way I could neatly stack them back in here. So I'd leave them for a nice decoration. There's a magazine rack, ashtray, bourbon, whiskey, all that good stuff. And here is a full-size bed. Now, I like the look of this full-size bed. Let me get out of this power armor. And we got our lockers over here. So, I like the look of this full-size bed because it's like the old frame, and then they threw the two sleeping bags on top of it. So that's really nice. That's really cozy. It's kind of like a good spot for you and your follower. I always like having at least one follower with me, so it's always nice when I see that extra bed or extra spot to sleep in. I'm guessing this is the bathroom. All right, it's literally a bucket with some soap, and it has the water container in this thing. Oh man, it's so Fallout. I love it. All right, it's safe and some containers underneath here. And this is like the kitchen. So there's a stove, there's a shelf, there's all of your food and junk like that. And what are these? I guess these are just, I guess like dish rags or something. And there's an arrow pointing right here. If you're trying to tell me something. Alright, it's probably just the design. If it is something, just let me know. But yeah, I thought there'd be a switch or something over there. Doesn't appear to be so. Alright, and nothing in the fridge, and we have a pet cat that we cannot interact with. I'm sure there's a mod somewhere that lets you pet cats. We'll get to it eventually. And yeah, that's the whole player home. So like I said, I didn't bother trying to ESL flag this mod because I think whenever you try to ESL flag like cells that are added to the game, and they just like bugs start happening where like you won't be able to enter the cell. So anytime I did that so far, it hasn't worked. I'll try to do that with this mod and let you guys know, but anyways, I'll put the link for this one in the description. I really like this one because it's not over the top and too fancy, like you got everything together. As you can see, it's this rusted bed with the sleeping bags on it, and then your toilet is not a toilet, it's actually just a freaking bucket, and then you use the water jug machine right here to shower with. So yeah, very Fallout. I love it. Okay, so the next mod up is Buildable Red Rocket Mole Rat Den. And this is basically going to let you make a settlement out of the mole rat den that is nearby the red rocket. I I completely forgot that this place existed, but it's like one of the first, I guess you can call it, like dungeons that you complete. You just go in there, shoot up a bunch of mole rats, and it has like some few starter loot inside of there. So with this mod installed, you'll be able to turn it into a settlement. As you can see, you know, you could turn it into a nice little cozy spot, and you could also scrap all the brain fungus that is inside of there. And there's the workbench right there. All right, so we're going to check and see if this has any requirements. And it does not. This mod is just a mod that requires this one. All right, so we're going to download this, and I will see you guys in the game. Okay, so here we are at the red rocket. We're going to go over to the mole rat den. Now, I have not even went inside of this place on this playthrough. So, you know, if the mole rats are still... If the mole rats haven't been removed, then they're still going to be in there. So this is the spot right here. Like, so many hours I have into this game, and I always just run past this place. But yeah, here it is. Here's the mole rat freaking den, and there's the red rocket, literally right there. So let's go in this place. Okay. Okay, so the mole rats are still alive. Is that all of them? You need to clear enemies at this location. Alright. Let's keep going. Alright, there's a glowing mole rat right here. Alright, so with everything destroyed, and this mod is at the very bottom of my mod list, so it should be fully functional. There's an engine right here. We can scrap this. Okay, so a lot of this stuff doesn't seem like you can scrap. There's so much stuff in here you cannot scrap. I saw that you can scrap the glowing fungus, or the brain fungus, excuse me. But it doesn't seem like it's letting me scrap that either. I don't know, maybe you can't scrap it after you already looted it? Anyway, it's very limited. Let me actually use the console command to scrap all. Just to make sure that everything that's scrappable is scrapped. And yeah, as you can see, this is it. So they probably didn't want to cause any conflicts, so that's probably why they didn't mark any things to be deleted. I feel like so much stuff in here is unwanted, like these barrels and stuff. But anyway, first thing that came to my mind I was thinking about is just placing like a foundation over here. See if I could just carefully. I'm just messing around just to see, you know, if I were to build in here, how would I do it? Just, you know, start by having some floors over this rubble. Alright, that works. And then that. Oh, whoop, that's the wrong one. I was thinking one of these. Yeah. And you could probably take some of the smaller ones. Like so. You could probably place in here with like place anywhere or something. I have that mod, but I don't really use it. I always like the challenge of placing items in here without using mods like that. Like scrap anything and place anywhere. So yeah, I would probably start with something like that. And then one trick that I always used to do to get around this, since it won't let me place this in here, right? This is what I usually do. So I usually just grab a rug, and the rug usually goes where that one piece could. It's kind of floating in the air right now. Or those smaller mats. Yeah, that works. There we go. Yeah, so I would start with something like that, you know, for the foundation. But anyway, yeah, this is the spot. Can't really scrap anything, at least in my experiences. And this is at the bottom of my load order. So yeah, I will put this one in the description below as well. I'm not gonna lie, this one is kind of underwhelming for the simple fact that there's so much stuff in here that you can't scrap. But like I said, I do understand why the mod author probably did it. It's because they didn't want to create any bugs or conflicts.